I competed at EBI 1, and at that time I was a purple belt. And yeah, kind of going into that tournament, I was working on these kind of new, different rubber guard moves, and both my first two guys took shots on me. I was able to find full guard and get those two hidden guillotines, and so definitely one of my favorite, best tournaments and moments just in general. It was a lot of fun.
And now armbar coming.
So I competed at Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 1 against Wilson Hayes, and you know, it was an honor to get that match. It was just happenstance. The week before, I had busted through my lip, and I thought I wasn't even gonna be able to compete, but I just kind of came that day to kind of, Eddie was like, hey, just, be ready, and maybe something will happen, And so, just turned out that Wilson had came in overweight, and Eddie offered me the match, and I was stoked right away to be able to have it. It was perfect. I wasn't getting psyched out. I was actually in a really good mental space, though. I was looking forward to it. But that pretty much was my game plan, was to try and jump full guard and to go dead orchard, just based off looking at his body type. And I thought that might be what would work. I knew he would have a really strong posture. Sometimes things just work out and they go right, and that was just one of those nights where it worked out and it went right, and I just was able to take it in, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great. Rubber guard, you have to put so much time into it. You really have to there's so many different positions, there's so many different ways for the guy to break out. There's so many different moves even that you can do. There's probably if you count everything, it's probably 200-300 plus different transitions and moves and things within rubber guard, right? There's way too much there, right? So you can get lost for a long time trying to force and make things work. And so I just put a lot of time into it. I just really wanted to see hey, let's make this rubber guard thing work. I was kind of seeing people play it less within the 10th planet system, I was kind of seeing it kind of go away, and people were doing it less, and I thought it was a big part of the 10th planet system, a big part of the 10th planet game was rubber guard, and I didn't like to see that, and I also thought it was effective. I thought it, it had a lot of good valid points that made it really effective. So yeah, I kind of eventually ended up kind of identifying with it and wanting to kind of push it forward and really go into it. So now I've put a lot of years into rubber guard, and I think that's kind of what the position takes. It takes a lot of time. Eddie recognizes and knew, he's been saying that he always wanted combat jiu-jitsu to come along. And so we still got to have that platform to be able to see, okay, what still does actually work. Without the gloves, without the cage, a little bit of striking. Yeah, let's see what works. Let's see what you have to keep in mind, outside of just pure jiu-jitsu. Being able to throw palm strikes can kind of open things up. So, I like it for that aspect. But yeah, mostly I'm focused on the jiu-jitsu side. I'm focused on how can my clinch-based, jiu-jitsu mitigate the strikes. So yeah, it's totally fine. I'm looking forward to competitors like Nick who are interested and want to bring the slapping side of it, the palm strike side of it, and seeing how my jiu-jitsu kind of plays out with that. That's the side I really want to feel with combat jiu-jitsu is, let's put this clinch-based jiu-jitsu to the test. Let's see how it works. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping Nick throws some palm strikes. I would really like to keep competing a lot more in this combat jiu-jitsu format. I like it. I like feeling out. I like having to worry about range while doing jiu-jitsu. I still like focusing on jiu-jitsu, but I like having to have a respect for range.
Up next at the Eddie Bravo Invitational is a combat jiu-jitsu match, as EBI's bantamweight CJJ champion, Nick Honstein, returns ready to defend his title. Looking to cash in on EBI CJJ Gold will be Ben Eddy, fresh off of his CJJ World stoppage, a former UFC title challenger, Wilson Hayes. Straight ahead, it's combat jiu-jitsu, as EBI CJJ king Nick Honstein squares off against the 10th Planet Freaks product, Ben Eddy for the CJJ Bantamweight title.
Ladies and gentlemen, EBI presents to you Combat Jiu Jitsu Bantamweight title match. First up to the mat, representing Lincoln Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Quick Nick Holstein. Representing 10th Planet Freaks, Ben Eddy. This is for the EBI CJJ Bantamweight belt. We have a winner by way of armbar in overtime. And now, our new EBI Combat Jiu Jitsu Bantamweight champion, representing 10th Planet Freaks, Ben Eddy.
You get it done. You follow up a fantastic Combat Jiu Jitsu Worlds performance with a victory here tonight. How does it feel to be the new Bantamweight champion at EBI?
I got my black belt, and I got two belts. It feels great. Feels good, you know. It feels good. You know, I mean, I had to win it. I ended up having to win in overtime, but it was a good match. Great match though, and it feels good. It feels great. This is my first belt to win, and I get my belt. So it's sick. I mean, it's awesome. It's good.
Let's talk about regulation. You were working a variety of submissions. Nick Holstein looked like he was going to go pro wrestling and launch you off the stage. What was going through your mind when you were holding on to there?
That was legit. I mean, that was smart. I mean, like, I just go for that because, you know, I can, but realistically, I like the fact that I can't realistically go for that. It's not realistic right there. That's fine. Let's restart it. Let's go for something realistic. No problem. I loved how he just ran me off. It's great we didn't both fall off the mat, but That was fine. That was great.
We've seen you stop Wilson Hayes tonight. You get it done against a champion, now former champion, Nick Honstein. What's next for you in this combat jiu-jitsu world?
What's next? Probably Chad George, right? Let's see Chad George. But anybody, let's start seeing some more MMA guys. It's a good place for MMA guys to get in. Let's see those self-defense jiu-jitsu guys. Where they at? Let's see them in here. It's just another platform, just another place for us to hang out. It goes right along with EBI. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. Nobody knows what's next.
Congratulations, sir, on your black belt and CJJ Gold. Let's hear it one more time. The new champion, Ben Eddy.